Well, of course, buying a used car can be a cost-effective way to get some new wheels.
Of course, the maximum buyer beware certainly applies. This morning on Monday Morning Mechanic, David Rogers from Keller Brothers Auto Repair joins us live with some of the tips and advice that can help you steer clear of a scam. This is always a bit of a dodgy area, David.
Oh, is it ever? Let me tell you. Hey, you're right. It's a great way to save money to buy a used car. In fact, it's the most intelligent way to buy a car. I tell people all the time, buy a car that's at least a year old, if not two. Let someone else pay the luxury tax, which is a one-time tax on the vehicle. Let them pay the depreciation, and let you come in and take advantage of the car when it's rented at its peak. There's three things you want to know about checking out a car, and these are the most important tools you can have. One is a clipbook, okay, or clipboard, a flashlight, and a pen. Because the most important thing you can do is eliminate the possible cars before you take them to a mechanic for a pre-purchase inspection. Today we've been going through this little car. It's a little 99 Toyota Corolla. There's some great things I'm going to show you here on how to look at it yourself before it goes to a mechanic. Number one is, when you look under the hood, a lot of times you'll see a used car and it'll be totally sparkly clean, like they just washed it, and people think, oh great, the engine's in good shape. That's absolutely wrong. If the car's totally sparkly clean and you don't see any dust or anything, they might have leaks that they're hiding, and they may have washed it in order to avoid that. Now if you look at this one closely, there is a little dirt on here, although it's very clean. That's a great sign, because they aren't trying to hide anything. There's dirt, but they've kept the car up very well, and you can tell that. There's nothing leaking. You get underneath it and see there's nothing on the ground, and everything's up to shape. The battery looks new. They've done some good things. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at some of the fluids and make sure they're nice and clear when I look down in there, hence the little flashlight, my little friend here. I'm going to check those fluids and make sure they match the colors that they should match right here on my trusty little fluid sample board. So between that sample board and taking a look inside of these, I'll be able to make a comparison and say these fluids are either good or they're bad. Now, maybe you don't have a trusty sample board. That's okay. You can get pictures of what the fluids should look like on our website. Another thing I'm going to look for are the body lines on the car and how they line up. Do all these lines match? Does this line match up from this door to this door? Does this look crooked? Is there more space up here than there is down here? If it starts to look off a little bit, we're going to have a problem. Right here you can see some rust. That's going to grow. That's going to turn into a bigger problem. Not a terrible thing, and for a low-cost car like this in the $5,000 range, I probably wouldn't condemn it for that. As we come on around to the back of the car here, I'm going to be looking for some other things. As a consumer, I can easily open this up and say, is my jack in here? Is the spare tire here? Does it look like all this stuff's intact? You also want to look for any missing screws or loose pieces or things that might be broken in there. You want to look for overspray. If you see paint spray under here or whatnot, the vehicle's been in an accident, and it most likely is going to not check out in the long run for you. You know, I'm a little bit out of time today, so I'm just going to wrap this up by telling you the most important thing to do is, once you've found a vehicle that you think you like, get it to a professional technician. And don't go to the cheapest one you can find, or you're going to get the cheapest inspection you can get. This is your life, okay? Go to an ASE-certified master auto technician. Ask him to perform a pre-purchase inspection on the vehicle before you buy it. If a seller won't do that, then you know he's trying to burn you. Go to my website, www.mondaymorningmechanic.com, and you can download my free used car buyer's checklist. It'll save you thousands.
Thanks so much, David. Good job.